Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Bourbon Junkies YouTube channel. Whatever. Today, got another little vlog type video. Driving again. Kind of seems like every time I start one of these videos, I'm driving, huh? We're going to Valentine Distilling Co. in Detroit. And we are going to shoot a little video down there, have a good time, hang out a little bit. We planned this a couple weeks ago with Bourbon Sane. If you haven't checked out Bourbon Sane's YouTube channel, he has a whiskey review channel. He's a fellow Michigander. And yeah, so go check out Bourbon Sane's YouTube channel. It's like Burb, B-O-U-R-B, Insane. Yeah, we're going to meet him down at Valentine Distilling. I think he's going to one or two other distilleries today. And we're going to go do Valentine. Probably drink some MGP. Hopefully, I would imagine they still, I think today's the release, or a couple days ago was the release, of their Red Label, which is their own 4-year whiskey. So, hopefully get a bottle of that, maybe open that up. I'm going to pick up Sean. We are going to check out Valentine Distilling Co. See you in a bit. I'm here at Sean's house. Now we wait. Wonder if he's home. He might not be. He might not be here yet. I'm gonna text him. That's what happens when you live in these parts of Michigan. Everything is muddy. That's probably from my driveway, actually. There's a dirt road back there. Sean lives out in BFE. So do I. Look at this tiny little cat. Look at him. That's Sean's. Sean's basically the crazy cat lady. Housekeeping? You want a beautiful pillow? He just got that. Hello? Oh!
Jesus fucking Christ.
Gotcha. What, you already drinking, dude?
Yeah, it's lunch.
Gotta kill him? Where have you been? I've been screaming.
Looking for a bottle. Oh, let me believe this. Bottle of Advil.
For what? Drunk.
I lost it.
One eternity later.
Oh, talk about the gimbal.
How about the gimbal?
All right, we're just doing a quick cutscene here.
We're doing a little transition, you know.
Oh yeah, it's getting squirrely in the hand.
The thing that Sean's in the middle of, you know, transitioning, whatever. I don't judge. Anyway.
I have no idea where this is focused at, so
Well, like
hopefully,
if you push that, it'll refocus on me.
hopefully it's on your face.
Well, like push this so it refocuses.
Nah.
So anyways, when this isn't usable because it didn't focus, we're like 15 miles away, my phone says. Sean, realistically, like I did most of the heavy lifting, but I got like a gimbal thing, like a manual gimbal, like a not $600 gimbal on Amazon Prime, and it came today. So on the way down here, I tried to put it together.
Wow, it sounds like we're gonna die.
Good old construction. And you know, I got really close. And then the only reason I stopped was I got sick. So Sean had to start doing it. You know, Sean basically finished up what I started, but
You started something, all right.
Needless to say, physics are complicated.
Oh, we made it.
I'm looking at
There's
the
no
camera. I
amount of-
should have just ran into something.
No amount of gimbal that is gonna save that. All right.
Oh.
Oh my God!
Gosh.
Smooth parking now.
Oh, that's a curb. The Volt doesn't have a lot of ground clearance. If
I
I'm being
think you're
completely
gonna
honest.
make it. I think we're gonna make it.
That's a smaller bump than the entry.
Oof.
Okay.
All
I
right.
have to pee so bad.
What is this parking structure that we got? Like
these guys went
just
this way.
Random
These
cars
guys went this way.
everywhere. Just get next to this.
Oh,
thing.
we gotta go up there. Why we didn't park and get out?
Why do we gotta go up there?
Just look at the sign.
Oh God, we just bombed through there. All right, now we gotta go to this creepy warehouse in the woods. It looks like.
Listen,
Ba, 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 dum, ba, dum.
everybody knows we were coming here. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Volt Chevy just came out with a rally team for Volt drivers, and I'm the first teammate.
Oh,
Parking
there-
brake.
Oh, Jesus! Look at the gimbal. Oh, G-forces. Woo!
That's hilarious. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that sign or the paint.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh, there's Bourbon Sane Man right there.
Oh yeah. There he is.
Well, I would have never come back here, so I'm glad. Oh, this isn't parking. So-
No.
Looks a little more structured back here, so we'll actually try to follow the rules.
Oh God. Oh God. More G's. I can't even.
I'm gonna pee my pants, so.
Yep. All right. Before Dan pees his pants, we gotta get in there.
Yeah, wait till you drink it to say that. And that Long Road 16.
So cool.
I gave you guys a bunch of store
Dan's rocking the backpack. The nude.
What?
What?
Back up all that stuff in it, dude.
Oh, does it now?
Neat, cool things.
You guys been here before?
No.
Not.
Alright, I need to be a dumping invite, but
Yeah, when we did our giveaway, I emailed a bunch of distilleries.
Yep.
And I emailed them, and the thing was like, yeah, we'll send you a bunch of stuff.
that's great.
Yeah, it's super cool. You gonna try and roll one of these outside, or?
I know.
I know they can survive a fall from a second-story window.
Pop the ball.
How was your other?
It was good, was it? It was a lot smaller production than this. I figured you guys were working there. Because you weren't even sure we could make this one. So. But no, it was like small scale. But this is like that's huge.
It's got a tree.
What's your name? Chris?
I'm Dan.
Dan, I'm Rufino.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Sean.
Sean, are you filming already?
Yeah.
You filming? You? Rachel?
My wife.
This is super cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They definitely have one here.
This is awesome.
Who were the guys that I sent
We were.
stuff to? Okay, you
We
two guys.
appreciate that.
And then you're.
I reached out afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I started it really to change the way we look at manufacturing, especially as a country, especially as a state. I mean, this is the manufacturing state of all states.
Yeah, right.
But really, as a country, and you know, be so bold as to say the world, but really to change the way we look at manufacturing in general. And the examples that I use, or the way I look at it, is that manufacturing companies used to become great by making a great product.
Right.
I grew up on a farm, so I use John Deere as like
Yeah.
the example. We drove, it was like a 1950 John Deere.
Yeah, they last forever,
because the
right?
thing still ran.
Yeah,
and when
right,
it broke
right.
down, you'd fix it, weld it, whatever you had to do, and the thing still runs.
Right.
You look at that in today's manufacturing
It's much more
industry.
of a throwaway type of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Replace it in 5 years type thing.
Yeah. And I think that really directly comes from we got to focus on profits.
Yeah.
All right. Screw the product. We can market the product. We can make people think it's still a good product, but we need profits. Wall Street, as everybody consolidates and companies become more global, most often these companies are publicly traded. So your first responsibility is to your shareholders. Wall Street's breathing down your neck every single quarter. You gotta keep increasing your profits. The easiest way to do that is to cut back on the manufacturing side of it. So you take shortcuts, you use cheaper inputs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, for me, at the end of the day, I'm a consumer, as we all are.
Yeah.
And as a consumer, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
It was like, you're shortchanging me in the name of profits. So
Yeah.
that 150-foot yacht the CEO is on with the crew, that was built off of my back. Like, you took advantage of me to build that thing. Let's just get back to the way we used to do things. We, of course, need to be profitable,
Yeah.
and we are profitable. Or we
Still
can't
have to.
exist.
Yeah.
I'll take a boat, I'll take a nice fishing boat, right? I don't need a yacht with a
Yeah.
crew and sail around the world.
Yeah.
So where did we kind of get off of this stuff?
Yeah.
And then when you take it to consumable goods, so spirits, things we eat and drink, it takes another level for me. Don't make shortcuts. If I go into IKEA, I know what I'm getting. And furniture is not something I'm going to hand down to my grandkids. I get it. But a lot of times with these consumables, you don't know. The label doesn't say that 95% of what is in a liquor store is owned by 5 or 6 companies.
Right.
You don't see that even on the label. You'll see small batch and handcrafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Every single label.
Yeah,
Buzzwords.
and it's like, all right, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You're screwing me, guys.
Yeah.
So after my 10 years on Wall Street and seeing this stuff firsthand, it was just like, let's get back to basics. Let's do this the way it was meant to be done. We can show that it still can be done that way and it still can be profitable.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons that we're so proud here is that, we were one of the first to kind of get this thing going. When we started, there were a couple dozen across the country.
Yeah.
Now we have, I think, around 40 in Michigan. So that's awesome.
That's crazy.
That we can be a leader in this new industry.
That's one of the other things that we constantly, on our channel. One of the things we constantly praise you guys for is
The lack of hiding where where the old whiskey came from.
Yeah.
Because there are other distilleries in Michigan that we've talked about on the channel, and I just was up there not that long ago, and I asked because I know where it came from, but they don't put it on their bottle.
Still wanted to
and
ask.
They don't put it anywhere, and then it's like, so is this sourced yes or no? Because the back of your label says it's 4 or more years. But it doesn't taste like a 4-year whiskey.
Yeah.
So how old is
Yeah.
And they go, well, and it's like, just say it.
Beat around it.
You know what
That's
I mean?
one thing we've taken very seriously here is let's just be transparent.
Sure.
So no matter what it is,
Yeah.
we're just going to say what it is.
Yeah.
So people have, even national inquiries and stuff, they're
Yeah.
like, well, I got this bottle that says you distilled it. And then another one says that it has source stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Read the back of the bottle.
Yeah.
Whatever we
Yeah.
put on there
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Transparency, I think, is important because a consumer can handle a lot of things, but one thing they can't handle is being lied to.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I've always said too, I don't care if something's sourced. I care about how it tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's sourced, who cares? If it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, so
right
all of
now,
our
everyone-
older stuff will be sourced. We'll taste our
Yeah.
4-year that actually this is the first release that we distilled here.
Yeah.
nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
like
not
the trees
opposed to
in
any
here.
spirits
Yeah,
myself.
I got a picture of the tree
I
over
like the
there.
trees in here.
Well,
Makes it
So
feel
the
like
palm tree-
homey.
the palm tree just makes things feel better,
Yeah.
right? It's like you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the real significance behind it is, and we haven't even released this yet, but it doesn't matter.
Can you go in the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We are making a 10-year commitment to go green.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
So, one of the downsides, I think, to so many small distilleries, over 2,000 now. Oh, that's what I was saying earlier. We started when there were a couple dozen. Now there's over 2,000. A couple dozen just in Michigan.
crazy.
But with that, this business is energy intensive.
Yeah.
So we end up using maybe some more energy than if just 1 or 2 big plants was
Sure.
producing everything. So we think it's important. This would be important for the big plants
Yeah.
too, but we know they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So we might as well do what we can here. A 10-year commitment to go green. So that's symbolic
Yeah,
of
very
it
cool.
as
That's
we
really
go
cool.
as we go into it.
Yeah.
We're putting in, that's a water treatment system. When we're running Sherwood Big Still, we use about 2,000 gallons a day of processed water. So this will recover 95 to 98% of that processed water.
Nice.
We live in the
That's
Great
crazy.
Lakes state.
Yeah.
Water is our
That's what we
fucking
got.
only resource, right? So we think that's important. And then we're gonna start with LED lighting, all the low-hanging fruit,
Yep.
that kind of stuff. And then hopefully we can get into some solar and wind and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Again,
That's awesome.
we upped it already when we installed Sherbert.
Okay.
Finally I think we ordered it probably 2016 from Italy. Didn't get it delivered and installed. It's all handmade.
Is
too.
it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So finally got that thing installed early 2018. Wow. But those guys, that company, they've been making stills for over 100 years.
Really?
It's the first one they've shipped to the U.S.
Really? Wow.
It's a cool shape.
Yeah.
The reason we got it is because we did a factory size.
Yeah.
The reason we got it and went to this manufacturer is because we use that triple pot distillation,
Okay.
which is real common in Irish and Scotch.
Yep.
So these guys have been doing that for forever.
That's their
that
thing?
type of distillation.
Okay.
So we decided to go there.
That's cool. What
So-
made you pick the triple pot?
That's my distiller. That's his.
That's his
That's
thing.
his
Okay.
game, man. And he really is a big believer. See, in all our products, people forget about some of the senses when you're tasting things. And a big thing for us is mouthfeel.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And he really, well, especially with vodka, people are like, it's odorless, colorless,
They don't
tasteless.
care. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they
who
don't
cares? It's like, no, taste this versus Tito's.
But a lot of people
Like,
drink
yeah.
vodka straight, actually. They
Yeah,
really do.
and you need that
So-
mouthfeel.
Not everyone.
We'll taste it straight here
You
in a
will
second.
today.
But so that triple pot, that third distillation
Yeah.
run, we're introducing oxygen, all those molecules.
Okay.
We really think that we generate a lot of that mouthfeel and
Okay.
viscosity on that third run. So that's one of the main reasons.
cool. Okay.
Because again, that's an area, it costs us more,
Yeah.
it takes more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why do we do it?
worth
we
it.
think we can get a little
Okay.
more out of it.
Something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you guys selling the red label at right now? Since it just came
That's
out.
the question. Yeah, that's the real question.
So, I mean,
You guys sell it out of your shop, your storefront shop, like the cocktail lounge
bottle
shop?
per person we sell out of there.
Perfect.
And then select liquor stores have it.
Okay.
So our good accounts have first dibs on
I
it.
saw on Instagram. I saw a couple of stores that had it. So
Yeah.
that you guys posted a couple stores had it.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start world's best 2 times, 2016, 17, out of London. Are your viewers gonna leave you now that you're even tasting vodka?
I have to cut it out. You like can't say anything about it.
The first thing that we know, room temperature.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a first just on the nose. It doesn't have an astringency to
Yeah.
it. Most production vodkas,
Yeah, you hit
you
it
try
and
to
it's
go like that,
oh, yeah.
like you'll kill yourself.
It is really
And then straight,
That's way smoother. Than
and
a
you're
whole
gonna
lot.
Yeah.
feel that viscosity.
Yeah.
That's all natural, no additives. All the big producers add up to 2.5% of other shit, and you don't have to put it on the label.
What's
that's
the
why.
Yeah.
What's the proof on this?
This is 80.
80.
Yeah, it's not as harsh up front
It's
on the
not.
nose. Like I've smelled vodka. I'm like, whoa.
No,
okay,
thank
so
you.
like
Yeah,
permanent
right.
markers and ethanol and
I call it almost like a marshmallow or a meringue.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a really subtle sweetness though. It's really nice. But usually like vodka, you put in your mouth and it's like, I just drink it. You don't like want that to coat your mouth and you're just like, oh, that's really good. Like it's not that astringent flavor.
Yeah.
It's not harsh at all.
Yeah.
Just me. It's just me.
It's in this.
Oh, weed. That smells really good.
he has a DD. So
Wait till you smell this. This is just fruit on the nose to me.
Okay. Yep.
You smell that?
What's this
That's
one,
all
Jen?
fruit.
This is White Blossom. It's a flavored vodka.
Oh, that makes okay. That makes more,
like
that
a-
makes more sense to
Yeah,
me.
it's like a dragon fruit.
It is, yeah. It literally is a dragon fruit.
Elderflower.
Okay.
Close,
Pretty
yeah.
close, yeah.
Grapefruit.
It,
But,
Yeah, it's really
doesn't,
great
it doesn't
food.
smell like alcohol at all.
I mean, bourbon drinker or not, out on the patio in the
It's like a
summertime,
refresher. Yeah, it's just fruity and easy. Yeah, absolutely.
it's, and this is a perfect example
That's grapefruit on the
of
taste.
the big companies just totally fucking up a category. They came out with Coca-Cola flavored vodka.
What?
glazed
Never seen that one,
donut.
luckily.
It's like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
enough with the fake stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell it's fake flavoring too.
Just all natural flavors.
Yeah.
And then instead of corn syrup, we add beet sugar.
Oh.
Right up.
Really?
You guys.
Yeah.
Right up in
Yeah.
Midland or
Yeah.
Bay City.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Pioneer.
Oh, yeah.
Pioneer. Yeah, that's what it was.
My boss's daughter is sponsored by Pioneer. She does like
Do you know what
cooking
actually
classes and
smells
stuff.
awful? Sugar factory.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's weird.
Well, so gin's another classic example of the big companies shortcutting it.
Okay.
And I think that's probably how over the years it just got diluted down to just juniper.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what turns people off.
Okay.
Gin is older than our country as a spirit.
Really?
It's older than our country. So, you know, it didn't always used to be just juniper. You know, there would
This has
be
got
other
some
botanicals in it.
like brown sugar.
I'm saying, I'm
on
thinking
it.
floral too.
Yeah, it
definitely
is,
a
but
little
like
floral,
there's
yeah.
like something different than what I'm used to on gin. It's like
Now
in the
with your
back
gin,
end.
do you use any other botanicals or just the regular like
We use,
juniper?
we use 10 botanicals.
Really?
It says 9 on the label. It's
Okay.
actually 10.
Oh wow. The taste is much more floral when you said
Yeah.
that than like a normal wild gin.
We wanted to layer it. You should get citrus.
It is,
Then
yeah.
you'll get the earthier juniper, cardamom, coriander.
Yeah.
And then what you were calling chocolate or
Brown sugar.
Brown
There's like
sugar. It's probably the cinnamon you're picking up. at
Okay.
that.
Cinnamon.
The MGP master distiller just opened or started distilling for Old Elk. And he said one of the best parts about moving to Old Elk was getting away from the monotony of, okay, so it's MGP, these are our 4 options, that's all you get, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, less you can do with it. Yeah. Oh, now that has more of an influence, doesn't it? That's more up your up your alley.
we're getting really close right now. So how long is that in a cask? Is that in like a bourbon barrel then? A used bourbon barrel or
No.
something?
So one of the things we do is we use new cooperage.
Okay.
I desperately wanted to reuse our bourbon barrel for
Okay.
obvious reasons.
Sure.
Right. In the early days when we were prototyping it, we found that we were getting, it was a good product, but it was gin, oak, and whiskey. And we wanted gin and oak.
Minus the whiskey.
You just get too much of
it
the
was
whiskey
just too much
carryover.
noise, too much. That's why a lot of the producers of a barrel-aged gin, they'll use old wine barrels and old bourbon barrels.
right,
Because
right.
And we just can't go there, so we spend the extra money on
Sure.
on new cooperage.
Sure.
It is the one cooperage that we go into a smaller barrel size.
Okay.
We won't do that for any of the whiskeys. We
Yeah.
use a standard 53
Sure.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you guys know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This one, we don't care about the complexity of the spirit developing. White whiskey needs years just to develop
Yeah.
that complexity.
Yeah. Right.
If you take those years in a small cask, it's going to be over oaked.
Yeah.
If you take that whiskey out in a small cask after a year, it hasn't had time to develop that complexity. Gin, we've already distilled what we want for
already have
complexity.
it.
Okay.
All we need is the oak.
Okay.
So this will go anywhere from 9 months to 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay. So quite a bit. That's quite a bit of time.
Yeah. Most of the time it's 3 to 6 months. For
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Well, so for us, that's like a minuscule.
Right,
amount.
right, right,
Because
right.
our whiskeys are
Yeah.
minimum of
You're aging
4,
as
so
long
I'm
as I
like,
can at
hey,
this
man,
point, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
This is
you know, half
really
of that.
interesting. Have
Yeah.
you tried it yet?
Yeah, I have. I get a lot of vanilla.
Yeah. I feel like the cinnamon
Almost-
on the nose is turned up.
Like
it's
cinnamon?
12, yeah.
The oak brings the cinnamon right out.
Right out
Yeah.
in the front.
Wow. Yeah.
You get a lot. Like the nose is like cinnamon and cola to
Yeah.
me. Like a cola.
That's a good note actually.
Yeah.
Called that.
Like a nice
But it still
RC
tastes like a
cola.
gin. Like it does. It still tastes like that same exact gin.
At
It's just amplified, like
Yeah.
for what I like. I guess.
That's interesting.
At our lounge, we'll make classic whiskey cocktails with this.
That
And it
see, that
works.
makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like when you start mixing it with like stuff with cocktails, I
Old
feel like,
fashions, Manhattan.
yeah, I feel like it would really fall into those places really easily.
In there, sure.
You gotta smell it.
I go.
Oh, he kissed it.
it smells like.
Take a little
Give
bit.
it a little
smells like
taste. You know what
Newfoundland.
taste?
No, you gotta film it, dude. If you're gonna taste it,
Get that
Take it
camera.
off.
get in
Put
there.
your finger in there.
Gotcha.
Get in there.
Take your fingernail and get a chunk.
Look at that chunk.
Does it taste as good as it smells?
Oh, that's thick.
Oh, it's really oaky.
Is it? Mine's-
Yeah. Oh gosh. Here.
All right, dude.
This is the good stuff.
All right.
Not playing around.
Mike's on. Why are
Hey.
you leaving right now, Dan?
Hey, the whiskey was so good, I forgot my backpack.